Hey, what's up, guys? Kool-Aid here, and today we're going to be talking all about Sawbones, one of, if not the best medics in Dirty Bomb, and that's just my humble opinion. So Sawbones is going to have 110 health, making him the beefiest of the medics, but of course that means he's going to be the slowest as well with a 410 speed rating. Still not slow by any means, but definitely not going to be running around like an Aura or Sparks would be. Now, Sawbones has 3 submachine guns to choose from for his primaries. The first one we'll talk about is the Krotzny. It's going to do 12 body damage per shot at a rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute, giving it a body DPS of 130. And that is the highest of all the submachine guns. It's also going to hold 40 rounds per magazine with a reload speed of 1.7 seconds. The Krotzny has seen a couple nerfs recently to its spread, and it's not quite as good as it used to be, especially at landing headshots, but it's still a very solid weapon nonetheless. The next gun we'll talk about is the SMG9. Like the Krotzny, it's also going to do 12 damage per body shot, but at a slightly less rate of fire of 620 rounds per minute. And that's going to give it a body damage per second of 124. It's also going to hold 40 rounds per magazine like the Krotzny, but is going to have a slightly slower reload time at 1.9 seconds. Now, since the nerfs to the Krotzny, the SMG9 has become a very solid option. What you're going to sacrifice in rate of fire, you will make up for in accuracy. So it's not necessarily better than the Krotzny, but very close now, I think, since the nerfs and overall effectiveness. Now, the last primary he has is the Blishlock. It's going to do 18 damage per body shot at a very slow rate of fire of 400 rounds per minute, giving it a body DPS of 120. It's going to hold 30 rounds per magazine at a reload speed of 1.9 seconds. The Blishlock is going to have some nasty recoil and some unpredictable spread as well, making it less desirable by a lot of people. Personally, I like the Blishlock, but I wouldn't say it's as effective as the other 2 weapons. It does require some more trigger control or spread resetting, I guess you could say, to really use as effectively as the other 2 guns. And overall, I think it's kind of a toss-up between the SMG9 and the Krotzny as the best weapon for Sawbones. You know, the Krotzny is probably a little bit better if you find yourself aiming for the chest more often, if you're not a master at headshots, whereas the SMG9 is going to be a little more consistent if you are going for those headshots. The Blishlock, I mean, although I have a lot of fun using it, is just going to be a step behind the other 2, in my opinion. So, kind of a toss-up between the SMG9 and the Krotzny, depending on yourself, basically, how you play the game and how accurate you actually are. For his abilities, we'll start with the defibs. You know, pretty self-explanatory, but we'll just do a quick rundown. They are used to revive incapacitated teammates. You will revive them with anywhere from 35 to 100 health, depending on how long you charge them up. They can also be used to damage enemies, although not really suggested for anything other than finishing someone off, which they will do with one little quick charge. And really, that's all I'm going to talk about the defibs. I mean, if you've ever played an FPS, or if you're not a complete noob to Dirty Bomb, you pretty much know how they work by now. His other ability is the health packs, and they will heal teammates and yourself to full over the course of time. They will heal yourself much slower than other players, so be aware of that. And also, a direct hit will make them heal teammates even faster. You can carry a max of 3 health packs at a time, and one will regenerate every 10 seconds. So again, pretty straightforward. Overall, Sawbones is just a really straightforward class. I mean, if you've played medics in other games, you'll pick up Sawbones style really easily. For loadout cards, Sawbones has a lot of solid cards to choose from, but one stands out to me more than others, and that's the CR73 Companion Operative. It has the Krotzny primary, and you know, I said Krotzny and SMG9 is kind of a toss-up, and the card might be the deciding factor, and since I like this card a lot, this is why I'm really going with the Krotzny. It also has the Calden as a secondary and the Cricket Bat for melee. But what's really nice about this card is that it's going to have both Potent Packs, which increases the health regen rate of our med packs by 20%, and Get Up, which is a 50% increase to health given on revive, and that's the biggie there. The third augment is mechanic, which gives us a 20% increase to repair and disarm rates. You know, not amazing for Sawbones, but it's not too shabby for a third augment. Really, when it comes down to medics, the biggest gains you're going to see with any augments are the get up and the potent packs. I think stuff like that is going to be more effective than something like quick draw. You're just going to see a bigger noticeable difference there. So lastly, just a few tips on playing Sawbones. First of all, unlike ammo packs, which you never really seem to run out of or never really have a problem running out of ammo packs, you will at times run out of med packs in key situations. So typically I might not hand them out to anyone who is only missing a small fraction of health, myself included. Also, med packs stop regenerating health if you get hit by any sort of damage. So sometimes you may want to wait for your teammate to disengage before giving them a med pack, especially if you only have one left. And this is especially true for yourself. If you're running away from an enemy and you're getting shot at the same time, I often find myself throwing a med pack down on the ground as I'm running, and that will usually do more harm than good. You're only going to get maybe one tick from it, if anything at all. And the process of actually deploying the med pack is going to slow you down. So I would avoid doing this unless you know you can get around a corner first, something like that. Really, guys, I don't have a lot to say about Sawbones. He's really just a straightforward, easy class to pick up and play. Now, I wouldn't say he's necessarily easy to be good at, but he's pretty straightforward. He's easy to just kind of get the gist of. And I will say he's probably my go-to medic. If I really feel like I need to have a good game as a medic, he's the one that I will pick up and use. And mainly that's because he is the only medic who can stay on the move and still heal classes to full without having to use a deployable like Aura. So that is pretty much all I have, guys. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.